Hello, hello. It is Wednesday. How's it going? I didn't do anything crazy for the intro this time because we got some things to teach today. Class is in session, okay? Several different things I want to do before we get to the thumbnail audits. Before even that, if you've never done a thumbnail audit before, if you haven't been on one of these streams, basically there are two links in the description. There's one for gaming channels and one for non-gaming channels, and all you gotta do is just submit a video link to the thumbnail that you want me to check out, and then we'll break it down if you get selected. And it's random, nothing I can do about that. It just I got a nifty little extension here on Chrome, and it picks. I can't choose it. Okay. There are a couple things that we're going to cover real quick. There's a couple contest winners, and then I have randomly selected a channel before we kick into more random selections. So I did a little bit of a deep dive on one of your channels. So let me go ahead and share my screen here and make sure I'm doing everything correctly. And you should see my desktop. Sweet. Okay, let me bring up the YouTube. There we go. All right, and then I will bring up the forums, and then I will bring up other stuff. Okay, so the very first one is we're gonna do the Twitter contest. Every week on Twitter, we have people submit their thumbnails and their videos and stuff, and one gets randomly selected, and we can check it out here on the stream. So let's take a look at that one. This was the channel that won. Dave Jeffrey in Niagara, USA, and the title is "Local Winter Wonderland: Snow in Niagara," and this was the thumbnail. So when I first saw it, my first thought was, okay, so I'm definitely gonna see a waterfall in this because like there's a waterfall in the thumbnail, right? So I watched through it. I was thinking, all right, there's snow, there's a waterfall. It's like a time-lapse picture of a waterfall. I'm sure that it's like all of Niagara Falls. It's snowy, but there's not any waterfalls in here. And so I was like, why is there a waterfall in the thumbnail then? So that's something you might want to consider. And then I got to the end and I saw that there's the waterfall thing again. And then I'm like, oh no. And then I saw the profile picture and I thought, I hope he's not doing this on every thumbnail. And sure enough, it was a branding decision. So I'm not gonna start this stream off with a rant, but those of you that know me, I'm gonna mute this right now because it's going. Those of you that know me know I go wild on people putting their logos and themselves in the thumbnail if they don't need to be, that sort of stuff. And sure enough, when we go to their older videos, scroll down, you start seeing that waterfall and everything, and it is so big. Why? It's like that's literally half your thumbnail is nothing to do with the video. So I understand the impulse here. I know why you're doing it, because you think that when people see that, they're gonna recognize it's your video and they'll click, right? But they won't. Like, that's not how YouTube really works. There are ways to brand on YouTube, and it's usually through like the style of your thumbnail, the color choices, the fonts, that sort of thing. But if you throw your logo like I don't know, Piper's Pit Crew Mechanic and Steakhouse, like, and there's like 10 words in there that don't have anything to do with the video. You got a big picture, a big logo. You're just taking up valuable real estate. So before I jump into what I would have done, I wanted to take a look at your popular video. Actually, what I thought was, if you just simplify it and it's just the scene, because these are just like videos of beautiful scenery, then like, why is that should just be the thumbnail, and then you should just explain what it is in the title. Because when you look up here, let me show you, if you look up like beautiful scenery or something, I don't know, whatever, scenery, you're not gonna see a whole lot of words. You're gonna see a whole lot of scenery, and maybe like the 4K thing that people put in there. There's that. So you get a whole lot of scenery. Some of them have this 4K thing because like some people like to put it on a TV as like decoration, so they want the highest quality, and that's why 4K Planet Earth is a thing. But yeah, they try to keep the text to a minimum unless it's the location, and it just shows the most beautiful picture, because that's how this type of channel, sorry, I just ate a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, so I'm making sure I don't have peanut butter on my mouth. That's how people know what they're getting, you know? Like when people are searching for something beautiful, they want to see the most beautiful, the most beautiful image. That's what they're going to click on. Oh, I just realized I'm on my personal channel. Give me a sec. Give me a second. There we go. All right, so let's bring yours up again. Oh, I know why I did that. Let's bring it up over here. So going back to yours, I wanted to see what was popular, and I was wondering if you had any simpler thumbnails, right? Just maybe we'll see if they perform or not. That's why it wasn't muted. Okay, and sure enough, your most popular videos are simple. The 8,000 views, 5,000 views. There's literally nothing but the scenery on it. This come discover thing, it's useless in my opinion. Like, why? Like, just show me what's pretty about it. You know, like the come discover thing. I just want you to know that you putting come discover in all of these things is not the reason why they did so well. It's because you're just upfront with what you're showing in the video. Sure enough, they are all super simple until you get down to like the 500 views. So I would focus on that, and then in your videos there was something that I didn't like, and I'll show you what it was. I'm not trying to rip you apart here, because I think that this really does have promise, and you're doing a lot of work that a lot of people don't do. But to make this a little simpler on you, this lower third that's pink and purple and yellow on a snowy scene, it does not feel right. It feels templated, right? And it is, I'm sure. It's just like a template lower third, just like those graphics on the thumbnail. But what I would do is I would simplify that as much as you can and get it out of the way of your scenery. I know you're showing a time progression here, so I would make it like black, or here, this is what I would do. I would just make it like dark gray and put it in the bottom corner, or maybe like gray with a black square background, something along those lines. And that'll get it out of the way, and it'll make it feel like it belongs in the video rather than this very random, brightly colored thing. So yeah, and the same goes for those thumbnails that said "Come Discover." So hopefully that helps you out a little bit. Just simplify, you know. One trap that a lot of people get caught in is trying to do things that they see other channels do that doesn't make sense for their channel. So don't get caught in that trap. It's kind of like how Minecraft YouTubers will sometimes make like drawing images. Sometimes this works, right? But sometimes it doesn't. And their video, let's not say Minecraft, because the drawing images of Minecraft do perform pretty well. But let's say Roblox or whatever. Like somebody draws Roblox and it's an illustration, and their video doesn't perform well, but then they see all these other Roblox YouTubers performing well. Those Roblox YouTubers are using screenshots of their gameplay, and people know what to expect when they see that. And when you do like a drawing, because you've seen other YouTubers in different niches do it and it works, you're thinking, well, I'm gonna spice mine up and I'm gonna make it look good too. Yeah, and sometimes it just doesn't work. We saw a car game recently where the person did an AI thumbnail generation, and it was just like this car crash, and it was crazy looking, and it did catch my eye. But if I was looking for a car game, I can't remember what the title was, I'm not going to click on that because it doesn't look like a gaming thumbnail. So, yep, just try to search for other channels that sort of do what you do, and you know, see what they look. And I think if you just up the professionalism a tiny bit, this will really work out for you. Okay, the next one I picked randomly, and then we're gonna hit the last one, which was the contest that we put up in Discord, which I'll get to that here in a second and explain what that was. Yeah, there we go. Let me get that. All right, so this next one, randomly selected. Oh man, I have to go into the non-gaming and find it real quick because I messed up. Sorry, give me 1 second. I remember the channel name, but I don't have the link here. Sorry guys, 1 moment. Get your submissions in now. How is this happening? I just had it. Okay, Mini. There we go. I have to search through my history to find it, I guess. I will do that. We'll just search the word mini because I know it's probably in there. Okay, this guy is the one, it's the random stuff YouTube. All right, so the video that they submitted was actually this one, making Mini Minter's office but mini. It's kind of funny because mini's in the name. All right, so I have a lot to say about this, but I'll try to make it fast. When I first saw this, I didn't understand it, and I'll explain why. I don't know what I'm looking at, especially from like this far back. I'm not sure what this is. It just looks like a guy with a background, an arrow pointing at nothing, seemingly. I'm not sure. And then it says real mini, and I don't know what that means. Okay, now, I know what your channel's about because this is a miniature version of this dude's office. And so that's very tough to understand in this context. You're not giving enough perspective for them to understand that this is miniature because it just looks like a part of the background. I know you put that little white split there, but it just, you're not getting the idea across. So I'll show you what I would do, and you actually have a couple thumbnails that are perfect. Another version that you did similar to this that I also didn't understand was this one. Same thing, looks like it's his background, right? I know it says mini, but I just don't understand it in this context. I'm not seeing a miniature thing. So basically what I'm saying is this takes a little bit of extra thought to like really pick apart that left is like not mini, and then that right is like a miniature model. And so, yeah, it takes that extra thought, and by the time I would have actually understood what's going on, I would have already scrolled past. I just wouldn't have given it the second thought because there's so many more videos on YouTube. So here's what I would do. I would focus on making something a little more similar to the Wallace and Gromit thumbnail. This one is perfect in my... It is so good that this style could really work out for you. You can see that it's miniature because there's a scale to this. You can see your hand, and so it lets you know how small the rest of this is. So if I were to see a model like this, like the Mini Minters or whatever, that size of a model with your hand as the perspective, then I would understand immediately, oh wow, he made a really small version of that. So with shorts, you're winning because it immediately starts in the video and you already understand. Like the gold play button, you have the one where you're like making a gold play button and it's tiny, and your hands are already in it and you're already working, and I'm sure it got like 4,000 views or something like that. So, yeah. Here is a channel that I would focus on trying to emulate a little bit, trying to mimic. Their thumbnails they really pop because they keep putting them on this grass thing. You don't have to do that. You can do a white background. You have that little like grid cutting board thing that you could maybe work into. But yeah, you see how their best videos all have the hand for perspective. That's kind of what I would have wanted out of yours. So just something to think about. Yeah, I guess that's all to say about the thumbnail, besides the fact that it needs to be better quality. So all of your thumbnails are kind of blurry, and you're such a detail-oriented channel that it's like, well, where's the details? You know, like, people are coming for those crisp, like, you want it, it's so close and macro, like macro lens, not macro perspective, that you really want a higher quality product. So I'd recommend picking up an S23 Ultra. That's the phone that I use. I use this camera more than I use my regular camera, my studio camera, because of the wide lens. And that's the next thing that I wanted to bring up. First of all, the quality's fine. Like, I mean, your phone is probably great. It's just, I don't know why these are so blurry. But the other thing I wanted to bring up is these videos that you're doing are they're too close to your hands. It's difficult to understand what's going on, like, when you're working, because, like, half of this is cut off, and it makes me uncomfortable because it's so close. Like, it's just, I don't know. You need a wider lens or a further back angle. And I know that your hands are going in front of the camera, so, like, backing up the camera is probably difficult, which is why I say a wider lens would really work. So I use my phone for stuff like that. Just the ultra wide lens is incredible on the S23. But yeah, see, this is so close that I just want it further back. It would just feel a lot better if it was further back, in my opinion. So yeah, that's all I got to say about that. I think the trendy ideas, like your gold play button, I think more ideas like that will really pop off for you. By the way, for anybody that was wondering if I didn't show it already, this is the gold play button that they made. Immediately you understand what's going on because of the size. But yeah. Okay, that is all I had to say about that. Okie doke. And then this next one is the winner of the contest from Discord, and then we're gonna start picking you guys, the viewers. So the winner of this contest, well, one of the winners. There were a couple winners. Let me just bring up this first one. So I'm not sure if this was number one. I don't think that this was like the top winner, but it was one of them. I can't remember which one, but it was. Sorry, I just want to bring it in. This is what they submitted because they didn't have a full video. The contest was create a postcard for you. I can bring that right there. Create a postcard for YouTube from your channel in any style you prefer to post it. It's for YouTube turning 20 years old, and so like the best one, we'll have the thumbnail reviewed here. And I'm gonna dive a little bit deeper into this one because I had a lot to say. So this is what they submitted. They are struggling with packaging. They don't know the best way to go about getting this idea across. And so for those that don't, actually, I don't want to tell you yet. All right, because I want you to come into this like how I came into it. So first, let's just say that the goal of this video is to teach the viewer about the Sohai in a captivating manner. Like, it's a documentary. You want to learn about this? Hey, Astrana. Okay, it's class time. All right, we're gonna talk a little bit about psychology. So this is, you're teaching about the Sohai. You want it to be captivating. It's a documentary, and you know your goal audience or your target audience is somebody that has the attention span for a documentary. They want to learn about something, and your target audience should also be somebody that knows nothing about the Sohai, because like you're teaching them, right? So if you use the Sohai as like the only packaging, then I don't know what that is, right? The hidden myths about the Sohai, or the secret truth about the Sohai, or the secret truth, something like that. I don't understand it, and why should I care is kind of where my head's at. I'm gonna mute the music for a second. So I'm your viewer. I know nothing about the Sohai, and I see these thumbnails. I'm thinking, the dark truth about what? Like, why? What is this? I have no frame of reference of what the dark truth is, or who this guy is. Is he famous? What is this mask, right? So it feels Japanese, kind of. So what I would do is, first you need to think, how can I explain this in the simplest manner? So monk is one word that a lot of people understand. Warrior is more understandable. I'm thinking we're talking like fifth grade comprehension here. Fifth grade reading level. This is how simple you want this to go. So monk, warrior, samurai, Japan. These are simple words that people understand, and they have a frame of reference for stuff like that. Buddhist faith, spirit, religion, that sort of thing. So let me show you an example real quick. Right here. Sohai or warrior monks. Yes, I know, but your viewers don't, right? So if you put Sohai and that's all you put in your title, nobody's gonna know, nor will they care. You have to give them a little more. So the point I'm making here is this says how Japanese housewives outsmarted global finance. Okay, now roughly translated, the Japanese housewife is called a shuhu. I think shuhu, is that what I wrote down? I didn't know shufu. I didn't know that. I had to search it. This could have been how one shufu's secret changed the world of finance, right? How one shufu's secret changed the world of finance. That could have been the title. But then there would have been a ton of people that were like, what is shufu? I don't know what that is, right? So that probably would have lost a ton of views. But because it's simplified to Japanese housewife, I understand those words. It's got me. Okay, I get it. So you can have Sohai in the title, but the idea would be to also define it a little bit. Now, I'm not saying that you should have Sohai in your title. Out of all your titles that you did pick, this one was the best one. I'll explain why. The disturbing history of Japan's warrior monks. Okay? All of those words I know. I know those words. I get it, right? I understand what's going on here, and that's something that I love to learn about. And in your description, I would include Sohai, because if people search that, you're gonna want that to pop up. But that's the title that I would have picked. If you have to have title, if you have to have Sohai in the title, then I would probably do something like Sohai, the Lost Army of Warrior Monks, because it still defines what Sohai is. Something like that. I wouldn't say those words exactly because you want to create a little more curiosity. But the Lost Army, I mean, that's kind of makes me curious. Like, whoa, I've never heard of that. I want to click. But your title is better. Okay, so if you do need Sohai in there, I would still try and define it somewhere in the title. Japan's Warrior Monks. Or warrior monks in general. Now, let's jump to the actual thumbnail you have here. Was it this right here? Nope. The thumbnails you have, the dark truth isn't interesting enough to me because I have no frame of reference of what that is. Especially if you choose the title that we just discussed. And so the visual here, though cool, I also don't understand. So let's simplify things, okay? This is the psychology that I was talking about. So let's just hop over on Google, and we're gonna search the term monk, and we're gonna see what pops up, and not the TV show. Okay, the very first image that pops up. Okay, the TV show didn't pop up. Okay, this guy, right? This is what generally the majority of the population imagines when they think of a monk. They think of this bald guy wearing an orange robe sort of thing. I hope that's not offensive. I have no idea what it's called. But yeah, this is what you think when you think of monk. So that is probably what I would put in the thumbnail of some sort, right? Now, because it's a warrior monk, that if you have to have text in your thumbnail, I would make it edgy of some sort. So I went ahead and made one just to show you kind of what I would do. And then, do you think I should put more or less words? It doesn't matter. You need to put the words that get people curious. And I made one for you. You don't have to use it, but this is the point that I would go for. This is what I would click on. So you've got the monk, and I mean, it pops visually because of like the darker background and then that orange just popping out of nowhere. But it's clearly a monk. I understand it. And then you have deadlier than a samurai. Holy crap. Like this monk, what's the deal with this monk? And then you have the title that further explains what's going on, and you know, it's a documentary. So that's kind of what I would aim for. You don't have to use those words, but those words would make me curious, because I'm like, this monk is deadlier than a samurai. I have to click to figure out how that's even possible. Whereas the dark truth doesn't explain anything. Okay, it doesn't. The dark truth is kind of like it would work if the title had something to do with like some sort of controversy or conspiracy or something along those lines. And you explained what if the conspiracy was like super popular, and you explained that in the title, then yeah, the dark truth, or the dark, like the hidden motive behind Mark Zuckerberg's new Facebook update, and then the title or the thumbnail says dark truth. Then it's like, okay, I understand that. I know who this guy is. I know what Facebook is. Like, it all sort of makes sense. But because things are a little more vague, it's just really tough to grab people. So this is what I would do. I mean, that grabs me. I immediately recognize it visually. And yeah, it makes me curious. Interesting take. So basically try to get the attention of the people that have no idea about the Sohai. Yeah, because like, why are you trying to teach someone that already knows about what you're teaching? I mean, you might, that's just a smaller audience, basically. Like, oh, here's something about the Sohai I already know about. Maybe this video can teach me a little bit more. That's not the audience you want to aim for. You want to aim for a bigger, like, I don't understand. Words and pictures that viewer can understand and relate to. Yes, of course. 5th grade reading level. That's all the biggest channels, all the biggest, all the writers that I look up to always try to, they'll write how they talk, and then they'll try to simplify it down a little bit to a 5th grade reading level. And there are tools that can do that. I think there's like readability or something like that. It's a tool that you can see where the reading level is. And if you use words that, you know, it's just, I don't know, it makes things easier. Okay, we're going to go ahead and draw some stuff now. Going to draw your guys' submissions. Hopefully, I know that was a lot, but it's just like that. Man, when you get the psychology down, you've won YouTube for sure. Okay, we're going to start with gaming because that was non-gaming. Bam, bam, down. Number 30. Oh, I'm in the wrong spot. Chat GPT will dumb it down to a 5th grade level easy. Yeah, it will, but I wouldn't recommend it. I mean, if you don't care so much about your writing, it's okay. But if you do that, just make sure it stays in your voice. That's really what's most important. Or you could have ChatGPT say it's normal stuff. Today we're gonna delve into blah blah blah. Oh man, the GPT isms. If you don't know, ChatGPT will use like common phrases that it's really easy to pinpoint when somebody didn't write their own stuff. So yeah, that's what I was talking about there. Okay, best formations and tactics in EA FC 2.5. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, this is a part of the game. All right, best formations and tactics. To get a little more context here, I'm gonna search this on YouTube. I don't play much video games, so. Okay, that one. Okay, is this you or is this a player? I'm wondering. Was that you? Connor Wolf? No. Okay, I'm assuming it's not you because it looks like a faceless channel. Okay, good. All right, first you won because you probably put a player on. That also looks like a player. I'm assuming that's probably a player, and that's great. The one. I don't mean to judge this guy's, but if that's him in the thumbnail and not like a a popular player, then I feel like he's losing out. Okay, I don't mean to be judging his thumbnail, but yeah, this is just the better choice in this situation. Because you're showing a common screen, I'm wondering if it would do better if it was in similar colors. Okay, this is the screen that you're showing. Well, a part of it. It's pretty cool. You seem to have cut it out. Stop moving. Okay. All right, so that's solid. That's probably what I would have done. I would have selected that area and used it. I'm just curious what else works here. That dude did the same thing. He put himself in there. Custom tactics. You know who that is? Is it somebody popular? That's a famous football player. Erling Haaland. Okay, cool. Now I know. Man, this one really pops to me, but it's because I see the field in the background. Man, that is such a solid thumbnail right there. The guide FC25 tutorials. I really like that, and the one below it really pops too. If you could, here, I just want to try something here. Yeah, I'm just curious here. I just want to know what would happen if we, well, more like what it would look like if we bring this out into regular gameplay. Just to see. Because it seems like you don't have much of that in your video at all, which is fine. Because, like, the people that are looking for strategy and stuff, they know what game it is. Especially if they're searching for it. So, what's this game called? FC25? I know we're going to steal somebody's picture here, but I don't care. Don't do this, okay? That's all I'm saying. If you're going to try to change up the thumbnail, make sure you go and play the game and get your own screen cap. I just wanted to see what this would look like. Bow. All right. So, naturally, we want to blur that background. Just a tad. And I would take this one. It bothers me that it's so squeezed. Like, it's so squished down. I almost want to, like, drag it like this to make it feel normal. Okay. And then I would probably do this, like, kind of angle thing. This is just personal taste. But you don't have to do that because, like, that's not how it looks. Bam. I am adding a drop shadow. No guarantee that this would perform better. I'm just thinking, like, what looks good to me. That's really what I'm thinking about here. And then your text or the person could point at it, and that might help make it pop a little bit more. So I guess we can just go ahead and take the rest of your thumbnail and stick it over this. Wherever it is. Yeah. Although it's very, very red, it might look a little weird, but it'll be fine. Bow. Yeah, it's very red. Just for the sake of, let's just lower the redness a little bit. I don't know. Anyway, then we just put that arrow back there, and it is time. You know what? I need to set like a button that says like, oh, it's arrow time, and it brings up the arrow folder. I don't remember what arrow you used. I'm pretty sure I have that one. This one's pretty similar, at least. Arrow mentioned. It's so funny, like all YouTubers kind of have the same arrows. It's a lot of people talking about arrows. I don't know if you used white as a background, or yeah, I think you used white actually as the outline, which does look better. Okay, so I guess the background pops more, but with him and the arrow, it's just too much going on all at once. And like either he could be smaller, or you could have text that says something. I don't really know. I think that when you see the gameplay, it looks really good without him, especially if you like have text right here. I probably wouldn't use that arrow anymore because it doesn't work. But if the text said something like, what do you got here? Let me take a look at your best formation and tactic. What is a what is something that would pull at a player like FC? I don't know. I'm just gonna do like God mode, okay? Because that's game stuff. Now, any FC player that's gonna see this, I don't really know what this is pointing at, right? It's probably pointing at nothing that's relative in this situation. But I hope you understand what I'm saying, that like a couple words to make somebody wonder like, wow, what is this secret, right? That's kind of where I'm at with that. I think that would probably appeal pretty well. I don't necessarily know if that red, I don't know if the red's best. Probably yellow maybe would pop out. Yeah, yellow. Bam, bam. It looks like crap now because the white outline. I don't know. You can mess around with it. Even white would be okay. But you know, I hate the yellow now. I hope you get what I'm saying though. Like something that would really grab them and make them think that I'm about to learn an advantage that nobody else is going to be able to pull off or whatever. That's what I would try. But the background being green and looking like gameplay seems to really pop for those other videos. Yeah, this says key setting. Maybe that's something similar to that. Like this is the key setting or best setting, or I don't know. God, if it said God mode, I would be interested. I'd be like, oh, well, damn, this dude's a hero. Okay, let's go to non-gaming. Number 46. Silent strokes. Okay, ASMR. I'm not, I mean, I know what it is. I'm not familiar with this style of thumbnail. Like, my first impression is you're showing exactly what you should be showing. Let's see here. That's suggestive. It's all suggestive. I mean, I get why. Man. When I eat peanut butter and jellies, I get the crunchy peanut butter, and I don't know, I just like my peanut butter crunchy, and oh man, it is so frustrating after you eat one, because then you have like, you're still chewing on peanuts like 10-20 minutes later. It's awful. Okay, I know that wasn't related, but I just had to rant. Okay, I'm assuming the popular ones. Wow, I expected the popular ones to be like the more suggestive ones. Okay. Look, I don't know if you're not. It seems like you're doing everything you should. Okay, like this is kind of checking all the boxes, I would assume. You have the mic, you have the nails, like you're making sounds in the thumbnail. It says ASMR. Is that popular in ASMR? Let's take a look. Anybody else that's familiar with this, start commenting. Give me some info you think I need. ASMR scratching, I guess that's what she was doing. Scratching back. Okay. Okay, that one just shows scratching, or just shows nails. So, oh, actually, you know, this one is more of like, I don't judge, right? But please don't judge me if I say something out of turn. But this kind of seems like, okay, this girl's pretending to be your girlfriend, right? And she's scratching your back. And so that could be one way you angle your titles. Bear mic scratching 1 hour, no talking. Okay, you're pretty literal here. Can you get more creative and like inviting with your title? It might help. I'm not saying you have to. I'm not saying you have to. Don't do anything that makes you uncomfortable, but this is just marketing. This is kind of what works in this niche. Let's see. Head scratch, scratching the back of your head. Okay, that one is like pretending again. Scratching the itch in your brain. I've seen these before, and like some of the more creative titles really do pop out. Aggressively scratching your annoying itch everywhere. Maybe longer snails. It could suggest louder sounds. If we had the time, I would Photoshop like just witch long nails. But yeah, yeah, it seems like the nails are really, really popping out on all these. So you could do something with the nails. You don't even have to you don't have to grow your nails out. Okay, this is a quick Photoshop job if you really Photoshop snails. Okay, guys, let's see what we can do here. Perfect, God mode. I'm just curious if this would even work. Because the mic is there, this won't work very well. So I'm gonna have to pull the mic out. Actually, let me just pull the hand out. One sec. But it does seem like that maybe the titles are more the focus here. Okay. This is odd. But anyway, I just wanted to show you that it's possible to make things look more interesting than they are. I mean, that's like half the game of thumbnails. So all I do in Photoshop is I just like go and select the area that I want to change. Snails with arrows. And so we want to extend the nails a little bit. And like I said, you don't have to do this, but it is possible without doing the long work of growing your nails. So yeah, long nails. I wonder if that would work. Paint your nails a different color to pop. It could work, but you could also just do that in Photoshop as well. Just color your nails different. A quick tutorial will teach you how to do this stuff. Super easy. I think what you're showing already, see, there you go. There's longer nails. I don't know if that'll like work well over this. I guess I could try to remove the background now. I mean, I cannot believe how well that freaking worked. If I had done it with the mic there, it would have like meshed into the mic. But yeah, so you've got longer nails on, yeah, you got your, whatever. Anyway, yeah. So it's just easy to do with AI if that's what you want to do. It seems like you're showing everything that you should. Maybe just get a little more creative, a little more like role playish with your titles. And that seems like it could help. But also just know that you're in a very competitive space. So I think it seems to me the more creative you are, the more you stick out in this space. So yeah, I would just roll with that. Okay. Yeah, okay, let's move back to gaming. I had no idea what we were getting into on that one. Number 50. I think maybe I already gave enough advice. Now it's just time to Photoshop snails onto people. I wonder, hold on. Oh my God. It's still here. Can you guys hear this? I totally forgot this. So it's that AWOL Nation song, Sail, but my brother and I made Snail. So yeah, that's man, that's got 114,000 views. That is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. I wonder if he has catfish on there too. Yep, there I am. And there's me. I don't know what I'm doing there. Anyway, yeah. So now I've shown my brother's channel. Sorry, James. Okay. This one is Pokemon related. I beat Pokemon Violet only using shines. No self-promo. My it's not copyright. We've recorded it. Yeah, I'm sure I don't even know if he's like logged in there or if he'd even notice if people watch that. I beat Pokemon Violet using only shinies. Okay. All right. 2.6 thousand views. One sec. I thought I saw you in here. Was that just a meme? Somebody else?
Hello.
Great. Now I clicked.
Shiny Pokemon are pretty cool.
Okay, you are in it. Okay, I was just curious because I saw that you're using a drawn image instead of gameplay, and I just didn't know if like maybe you also had a version where you're in it. I don't know. Okay, so all of these are drawn. Looks like Undertale, but it's a Pokemon game. Okay, that's pretty cool. I beat Pokemon Violet using only shinies. I don't know what this means. Only shinies. Okay, let's just search around and find out. Only shinies Pokemon. Just curious how many of them actually show the gameplay itself instead of... Okay, that one is a drawing. That one is a drawing, I'm pretty sure. Pokemon, but I can only use shinies. I want to know what the shiny thing is. Like, do they die and never come back? Like, why is this... All right, I'll have to Google it. Unless somebody tells me first. Just ask AI. Pokemon shinies are rare, alternate colored versions of regular Pokemon. They have a different color palette, blah, 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 blah. But their stats and abilities. Okay. Oh. They're very, very rare. Okay. Okay. All right, I get it. So if you lose them, then they don't come back, or they're really hard to find. Okay. So it seems like you're doing what works in this. Let me take a... Yeah, it seems that... man, if you have an alternate version of this, it could be one Pokemon versus another Pokemon type situation. That seems to work for this one, works for that one. There's 2 Pokemon here. I beat Pokemon Shield using only shiny Pokemon. It's weird that, like, this whole niche is all drawn. It's kind of interesting. Pokemon Emerald using only shinies. I guess I don't have anything to give you on this. Like, maybe the character here might be a little off-putting to some because, like, it seems like it's more about him. I don't know. But if it's more focused on Pokemon like all of these are, it might do better, right? Like, if they see... Extra hard to find. Okay, yeah, that's what I found out. So... yeah, it seems like all of them that are focused on Pokemon only in recognizability, I guess, seems to help. Yeah, dude, this one's kind of one of those where it doesn't matter. As long as, like, you do something tasteful, you're going to be you're going to be just as unique as all these others. Like, there's no format or template or anything to, like, get a clue of what works with the shiny Pokemon thing. So my best suggestion is just to draw something else and try it if you want to. Or, I mean, what has got like 3,000, almost 3,000 views. I beat Pokemon Violet using only shinies. I don't know, man. I'd recommend just moving on to the next thing because that looks good. It matches your whole aesthetic. Like, it's fine, in my opinion. I'm sorry I don't have much more to offer on that because that niche is very all over the place. Yep, that's tough. It's tough to judge. I don't know. Sorry, man. I wish I could help you, but I got nothing. It looks really good. It just seems like you have some that hit and some that don't. And the more videos you make, the more are going to hit. Okay, let's move back to non-gaming. Wish I could have helped you out more there, but that's a niche that is so odd. Like, everybody does something different. I mean, nobody showed actual gameplay. Oh, well, I might have seen like one that showed actual gameplay, and that might be something that you can A/B test. Sorry, 1 second. Okay, making sure I wasn't getting any messages. Kaylin Crew, you're back. Better than Hershey's. Okay. First thing I noticed is that you used the wrong then. It's than, T-H-A-N. Okay, so that was the first thing I noticed. I would change that, and then I think this is okay, because I remember you submitted this before. And now you're showing what I recommended, better than Hershey's. I would probably do something more along the lines of showing it in the context of where it is in the grocery store, especially because when people are searching for your video, they're going to be in a grocery store. So Hershey's Nestle hot chocolate on shelf. Maybe we can find one that shelf. Damn it. Maybe we can find a picture. Okay, so we got nothing, but that's okay. Let's go find a picture of a shelf. We're gonna make it. I don't want to put it on a shelf where it doesn't really make sense. Okay, whatever. Hot chocolates. Grocery shelf. All right. I would prefer to make it straight on. Sorry, I just realized that we can just use stock photos. Wow, I really misspelling things. Cholo late. Hot cholo late. Okay. Let me get one that kind of makes sense here. A lot of it's just candy. This is the kind of stuff I do. Okay, let's just use this one. What? Okay. Oh wait, that is where it kind of would be, because that says Nesquik. All right, then we are gonna do the hot chocolate. I'll just take the one that you used, and I'll show you what I would prefer to see. And you don't have to use this or do this exact thing, but it's just kind of what I'm looking for. I mean, a simpler way would just be to find a picture of it on a shelf. I would, like, personally, I would, like, rather make it like really stand out amongst everything else. But that's just me. But I just want you to see, like, how I would make it look. So what did I just do? Oh, I put the mask on the wrong one. So I would do something like this, and I would put it on a shelf around other stuff. I don't know. I don't know. Something like that, maybe. And then make it the focus on the right side. Yeah. And then I would actually probably fill it in with a box and stuff like that, but this is just to give you the idea. Blur the background slightly, if you can, and then I would kind of lower the saturation on that. That's really how I would try to make it stick out. And I do that for most things. Like that monk one that I did. It was an orange background at first, but I just kind of made the monk stand out. Okay, and then, of course, I would do better than Hershey's on the left and point at it. And that way, when people are in the grocery store, they're seeing the exact context of what they're looking for. Yeah, that's what I would do. Now, this is also really simple, and I think that this is fine, too. It's just like that's the other version that I would play with, is what I'm saying. Hopefully that helps you a little bit. And make sure you change the then to than. Okay? Alright, move back to gaming. If you don't have a whole lot of like graphic design skill and stuff like that, I would keep exactly what you have and just change the word. Because like that, you get the idea across immediately. Definitely not overcomplicating it. Alright, number 81. And make it bigger, probably, if you can. Or, actually, what might be an easier... I'm just curious what this would look like. If you have this full screen... I'm not sure how I'm going to be able to do this. You have a full screen, and then you have text that goes over it. That was weird. Better than Hershey's. Ooh. Is there an apostrophe in Hershey's? I think there might be. And then, I don't know, you could put either a drop shadow on that text to make it pop out. It might help a little bit, or you could just put the black box behind it, and that would obviously work just fine. But, yeah. You could do something like that and point, like, with an arrow at the Nestle logo as well. That could work. And if you have the option, then I would blur the bottom of it just a little bit so your text stands out. Like so. Sorry, one sec. Draw it back in. You know what? That looks like crap. I wouldn't do that. But anyway, hopefully that helps too. It's just another simple option. It might work better. But, like I tell everybody, don't keep focusing on the same one. Just make more content. You'll get better. You'll definitely get better. Did I bring this one up? Meadow Mew. That's in the gaming? I guess it's gaming. Music composers react to Genshin Impact music. Okay. Yeah, I can see where that would get mixed up. Okay. This is an interesting niche. I'm not sure what works, but we can take a look first and see what will stick out. I can't imagine this being super competitive, but you never know. If nothing stands out, then there's a couple things I would correct about your current thumbnail. Okay, this guy's pretty simple. It's him, and it seemed like when he blurred the background, it did better. But yeah, it's just him, and then you've got the music he's reacting to, and he's got logos in his thumbnail, which I would never do. I almost want to contact him and tell him to stop. And he's like killing it, getting millions of views. Okay. All right. So, even this guy that's doing really well, it seems like his thumbnails are too busy. I mean, look at that. That has like an episode number. It's got his logo. It's got the title. It's got a subtitle. It's got the picture of the game as well. That's insane. That is way too much on a thumbnail. And then his background, which I understand, it gives him like, here's my social proof. Look what I've got in the background. It's too busy. There's too much going on there. So your thumbnail is also too busy, but for a different reason. All right. So first, film and VGM composers. Okay. All right. So that gives us context of who you guys are. That's cool. That can also be done in the title, but we might not want to. Let's see. Genshin Impact, Natlan Live Symphony, Symphony, Performance, Production, Hoyo Mix. Okay. I know why you're being so specific about this. I'm not sure the viewers care though. Now, in the description it's totally fine, but in your packaging, okay, so I want to know how you guys react to Genshin Impact music. That's all, okay? That is gonna catch me. How much stuff on this thumbnail can you get rid of now? Can you get rid of Natlan Live Symphony Performance? Probably. Can you get rid of the production Hoyo Mix? Yeah, probably. The Genshin Impact logo might be essential. I'm just trying to think of the best way that you guys can, like the composition here. I think the film and VGM composers is important. I understand why you put that there. The arrow color, the arrows probably, I don't know. Let me think on this for a second. When I think of Sonic Orchestra, I saw a thumbnail recently that I thought was really cool. And okay, all right, so you've got this orchestra with this big screen in the background. That shows that it's video game music. You've got this guy with Sonic on a screen that shows video game. I'm trying to think of how you visually appeal, like how you communicate visually that this is video game music without saying any words or showing any words, because that is powerful. If you can communicate it visually before they even read anything, like that's a winner of a thumbnail. Like this thumbnail right here is killer because you've got an orchestra and then you've got Sonic at the top. I wonder what that orchestra's playing. You know, like it's immediately communicated. We forgot about Q&A. Okay, we'll get there here in a second. Man, robots, I swear. Always on time. Yeah, so how, like, Natlin, was it Natlin, Genshin? Let's see what pops up. I'm wondering if there's an image. No. Orchestra. I see what you did. You didn't put that in there at all. It was this picture that you got. Okay. All right. So I get it now. I understand why. Then if that's the case, if that's the image you wanted to use, I'm just seeing that dude used the same one. That dude used the same one. Yeah, I would use this as an opportunity to, man, they used it too. Okay. I would show the video game for sure. I'm just trying to think of how do you show, like, here's the problem. How do you show you two reacting? How do you show the video game? And how do you show the orchestra itself? That is tough. And then, like, providing the social proof that you guys are composers. I guess, what is this one? Film and video game composers. That appeals to me a little more because of the style. Now, I dig that. Film and video game composers. Okay, let's take a look at a Genshin Impact image. First, I'm going to open this one and keep it handy. Genshin Impact gameplay. Okay, let's try something. Just curious how this would work out. It doesn't have to be exactly what you're reacting to. You're trying to just get the idea across. So, first, let's get rid of all this junk. And then we're going to go grab a Genshin Impact image. This one looks pretty good. That's not what I wanted to paste. Copied. Okay. This is just like the first thing that I think of, like just a giant screen along with the composers, or with the orchestra. So we'll take the orchestra and then we're gonna chop them out here if we can. What just happened? Okay, whatever. It'll get the idea across. And then we're gonna put that in the background and unmask it. Okay, cool. Now we've got our little screen idea thing. Is Genshin Impact like in the title? Because if it is, then this really helps. I would recommend putting it in the title, reacts to Genshin Impact music or something along those lines. Let me add a little bit of a white outline. Give this screen vibe. Okay, that feels right. It's not perfect, but it'll at least give you the idea. I added a slight glow around it because TVs glow, screens glow. It feels right. And then we'll take your thumbnail and put your reactions over it. I think that this will help you guys stand out a little better. I have to close like everything else. There's so much going on here. Okay, the film and VGM composer. VGM, I'm a layman. I don't know what that means. Video composer, video game composer. I guess I can understand that too. Yeah, so VGM probably doesn't help you much. I thought it was cheesy at first, but then, okay. So with all their text going on, your text is just adding to the noise on top of it. So, I just saw, oh, you've got an outline too. I didn't even notice that. Probably not needed. I mean, it's not that big of a deal, but yeah. It's not a deal breaker, but it's not needed. I think if you're trying to make yourself stand out here, this might be the way to go about it. Just make you a little bit bigger here. One of you, whoever you are. And then the other guy. That didn't work. I'm gonna have to grab them manually. Been listening to a lot of true crime stuff, and now I'm having nightmares. Just a little update for y'all. Scary stuff. All right. I know that I could easily just like fix the arrow thing, but I just wanted to give you the ID here. So, the music video game composer thing, if you guys can, like if you both can honestly say that you've composed for video games, I would just keep it as video game composers. I like that's the appeal, in my opinion, video game composers. And of course putting it at the bottom, that's fine. That's where it can go. But if you can't, right, then first let me just show you what I would do to make this stand out, because like the white over that, it might not separate perfectly. So I just add a slight drop shadow, and then just composers. Yeah. Well, see, it's important that they're video game composers, though, right? If it's not important, then yeah, composers would be fine. Like professional composers or whatever, like that's fine too. Video games composers in the title. Yeah, it would already be in there. I think. Anyway, yeah, so I don't know, maybe it's not. Yeah, if it's not, then maybe that would work too. So, if you had video game composers in the title or something along those lines where it explained who you were more than what Slavgard said, composers pointing at you two would work totally fine. If you are two separate types, then you could like make the screen a little bit further away, and then you have the arrow above you, whichever one you are. Sorry, I keep assuming that this is you that submitted for some reason. But yeah, you have the film composer, arrow down, video game composer, arrow down. Like there, you know, that's, you can make your guys' selves bigger. So yeah, hopefully that helps a little bit. I think that would separate you from the crowd of everybody else using the same image and just putting themselves over it. Like, this catches my eye more. And I mean, you could experiment and just like make it bigger or whatever. If you made it that big, I would probably change the color of the orchestra just a little bit. That dark blue doesn't appeal, so you could look into how to change the color with saturation, and you can just like play around with it. But anyway, I stayed on this one too long. Hopefully that gives you some ideas. You really need to stand out. That one's also a pretty tough niche. But yeah, are we doing questions? Did you ask them to do #question? Because now would be the time. Yeah, okay, we did. Okay, let's get some questions, y'all. You're welcome. Hopefully that helped a little bit. I don't know. That one was a real tough one. You guys have an interesting niche for sure. vidIQ fueled my YouTube channel. Thanks for your work. Awesome. Glad to hear it. Thank you so much for the 249 euro. I think that's euro. Yeah. I always thought euro had one line in it, and then the 2 lines was like something different. I lived in Germany for like 3 years, and I still don't know the difference. Is it okay to change the lighting of a gaming thumbnail even though the game... Is it okay to change the lighting of a gaming thumbnail even though the gameplay of the video is dark? Yeah. When you say change the lighting, like, do you mean brighten it up? Because that's totally fine. You can do anything you want. I mean, it's your image. Just like, as long as it represents the game in some way, like, just think, is it obviously the game? And if you're not sure, then show somebody and say, hey, do you know what game this is? And if they say, oh yeah, it's blah, 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 then yeah, it's fine. Like, as long as it's recognizable, that's all that matters. You can do anything you want, but it's just about getting the idea across more than anything else. What do I do if I can't get in-game screenshots due to the in-game UI? I'm assuming the in-game UI you're talking about is for Roblox because of your profile picture. And if that's the case, if this is the kind of thing that you're dealing with, then here's what I do. Just so oh, sorry, I'm not sharing my screen here. This is what I do. So you've got like all this stuff going on. Just the same way that I get rid of other things, I just use generative fill, which is any AI tool you can use, Canva, whatever. All you get, the YouTube thumbnail tool also does this. All you got to do is just select over the area you want to get rid of, and then vidIQ's is erase, I think, but I just use generative fill, and I don't type anything in it, because when you don't type anything in it, it just assumes that it's going to take everything surrounding it and then fill it in. So it's just going to take the sidewalk and fill it in with sidewalk here. It's basically like a better content aware fill, as you'll see here in just a second. Watch it put something like really random, like a hot dog. Anyway, yeah, so that's what I do. If I need to get rid of something, I just use AI to fill that spot. Cool. A lot of people don't know that. Like, they always type remove and stuff in AI generative fill, and it's like, just don't type anything. Just the AI will just assume that it's taken from the surroundings. I see you make thumbnails 1080p. I've heard that thumbs are smushed down to 720p, and if they are bigger than 720, they might lose quality. What's your advice? Just do 1080p? I just do 1080p. If you're worried about like compression, like it's not okay. YouTube will, I don't know the rules on this, okay? YouTube will do 1080p for some channels, and it'll do 720 for some channels. When you look into like the actual code in the links to the thumbnails, there are 4 different codes that they assign. And one is to 1080p, one is to 720, one goes down to 480 for the small thumbnails, like on the right side of the YouTube UI. And then there's an even smaller one. And if you're looking to download thumbnails, you'll see all these links if you really search for them. And so I know that they compress it for certain areas of the website, but the original photo itself, I don't think that the quality loss will be negligible anyway. I always do it in 1080. If you smush it down to 720, like it's not going to change anything. And nobody, as long as it's not blurry, that's literally all that matters about quality on thumbnails. Nobody is looking at it like it's their wedding photos, man. Yeah, sorry, that was a roundabout way of explaining that, but yeah, it doesn't matter. long story short, I make them in 1080. I've never changed that. It says at least 12 whatever by 720, so as long as you have that minimum, then it's okay. 1280, 720. What are the 3 main functions of a successful thumbnail? Why do you assume there's only 3? Like, this seems like a softball question because they know that I say 3. Catching the eye, creating curiosity, and conveying the idea. Those are the 3 C's that are the main functions of a successful thumbnail. Yeah, imagine going, like, asking, hey, what are your, what are the 5 important reasons you like Kleenex more than the off-brand? Like, you make a number, you make them make a listicle with their answer. Oh, that's funny. Are portrait or landscape thumbnails more effective? Because portrait could be good for mobile, I assume. I don't even know what a portrait thumbnail is. Yeah, don't make portrait thumbnails. if your video or if your thumbnail isn't this shape, if your thumbnail's not this shape, then you're doing it wrong. If it's vertical, you're doing it wrong. That's not what a thumbnail should be. If you make it vertical, it's gonna put black bars on the sides, and it probably won't even. It'll probably cut the top off too. So I wouldn't do a portrait thumbnail. If you're talking about shorts, then you can't. I mean, you can select a screenshot from your short when you upload it, but that's the best you can do, as far as I know. Question: in a niche where thumbnails are all almost exactly the same across many channels, do you think it could be jarring to stand out too much? I think this is specific. This is like a per niche sort of question. I would have to know the exact niche, but Harsh Language Podcast. It's a podcast. You seem to have like similar thumbnails. If you're a podcast, I think the best way to stand out is the text on the thumbnail and the person that's in the podcast. So if you have a special guest, the most important, valuable thing, shocking thing that they said, like that's the feature on the thumbnail. Film and TV niche. Okay, I would assume it's a podcast. So if it's not a podcast, then yeah, I don't know. If you have like, if they're all the same thumbnails, film and TV niche, I don't know what that, like film could be so many different things, like a documentary about filmmakers or a documentary about Big Bang Theory. If you are a podcast and like standing out with the words you put in the thumbnail is like the best way. If you're trying to stand out from your competition, consider the format that really works for the niche and like stand out some way in that format. That like it's tough to explain, but when I think of a podcast, let me just bring one up real quick. Let's go Diary of a CEO. When I see a podcast like this, okay, you've got the 2 people, the host and then the guest, and then you have a quote. And that's how they stand out. If you think of Colin and Published Press, is that it? Is that the podcast name, or is it just Colin and Samir? Yeah, it's just Colin and Samir. Sorry. And Samir, their way of standing out is they use different colors, but they use the same format. They've got the guest, they've got the quote, and then they've got like a little highlighted word, and that's kind of their thing. So that's how they stand out, using a format that works for all podcasts. Hopefully that makes sense to you. So if you're trying to stand out, you could do it through color, you could do it through font, you could do it through the things that you show on the, like images or the people that you interview. But the best way to stand out is by a really powerful line. That's my opinion. What kind of clickbait is okay, and where do I draw the line? When you're lying, then that's where I draw the line. If you're wearing a black t-shirt in your video and you made your t-shirt red in the thumbnail because it catches eyes, that's fine in my opinion. You're not lying. The video, it doesn't matter what color shirt you wear, right? You're just making it more appealing. Just like if you look at like a Mr. Beast thumbnail or something, the images that are used, I don't think are clickbait. Like he's in a helicopter looking down at an island. Is that the island? No. It's a picture of an island. Is that the helicopter you rode in? No. Is that Mr. Beast? No, it's not. It's probably like a different body and like they put his face on it and whatever. And you can argue that's clickbait because it's not the exact thing in the video, but you can argue that about everything then. Like the minute you put a graphic on a thumbnail, clickbait, right? There's no text in like this right here. There's no floating text with a black background and a person. Like that's clickbait. So I don't know. Some people overreact, but when you're deliberately lying to I saw clickbait just the other day, this morning actually. Beat the record, lady slapped me. Man, it was this kid solving a Rubik's Cube. He must have gotten rid of it now. But this kid, I know, I'm looking for it. I know it's not there. Here we go. This is the clickbait I saw. This is straight up clickbait. Lady slaps me after getting national record. It wasn't a Rubik's Cube at all. I don't know what it is. But I clicked it because I was like, wow, this lady slapped him. All through the video, I get it. And then at the end, she like pushes him a little bit. And where's the slap? She's excited. He's excited. Yeah, I don't know. That was straight up clickbait in my opinion. I'm like, dude, what's the deal? And everybody's like, this is clickbait. Like nobody slapped you. That's a lie in my opinion. So like between red t-shirt and that's where I draw the line. I don't know the best way to explain it after that. Just don't lie. Just don't lie. Two-second time. Okay, sweet. Okay. It's time. I was looking for the button. All right, so I'm drawing names or whatever. The same exact process, except this time I show you the thumbnail and you have to guess what it is. But here's the kicker. That's something that ChatGPT always says. But here's the kicker. If you hear somebody say that in their video now, they probably didn't write that script. But the kicker is that I only show you for 2 seconds. Okay. I'm trying to think. Okay, yeah, this is number 39. And this is non-gaming. Okay. I really feel like I've seen this before, but you guys ready? Okay, here we go. What do we got? Is using the least words possible better for thumbnails? No, it's not. I'll get into that here in a minute. Sorry, I read another question I shouldn't have. Confused lizard. It is a confused lizard, truly. It's a dizzy lizard, hurt lizard, stunned lizard. Yeah, I'm getting the same vibe. It's not a snail. How do you design a lizard cage? Where'd you get that from? Oh, I guess I could get that. Maybe the cage made him dizzy. How to stun a lizard. Crazy lizard facts. All right, cool. Yeah, you guys, it's a lizard, Roblox. I don't think so. But it's not telling me much more than it's like dizzy and it's hurt or something. I don't know. Okay, let's see. Bearded dragon first aid. Okay, not what I expected. Let's see. Do you show anything in it? Oh my goodness. That microphone. It's lit up. Okay. The reason I'm scrolling through is because I'm trying to think. Okay, what do you guys think? Put a bandage on the thumbnail or a first aid box. Okay, yeah, okay. This is exactly what I was thinking. What do you guys think of when you think lizard and first aid? Like, what's the visual that you get? Because like that's the first thing I always ask myself: how can I convey this visually the easiest way possible so it's so easy to understand? They don't even have to read the title. And so, just like Dempsey said, you put a first aid box in there. That makes sense. I was thinking like a top-down view of the bearded dragon, and then like not a scalpel, but like tools like first aid bandages and stuff on the side. Like if there's a towel down and there's like, here's a situation that I can learn how to take care of my dragon. So that's sort of what I was thinking. It didn't have to be that complicated. You didn't want to give the impression that your bearded dragon is hurt either. So mine would probably be a little more baity, whereas Dempsey's idea is probably the way to go. Like this image of yours and you holding like a lizard first aid kit, even if you made the label yourself, I think that would be awesome. Like you have your own first aid kit that you've made, and then that is proving to me that you have value to offer in this video. Like, wow, I want to know what's in that first aid kit. There's one video, I don't know if this is gonna pop up, daily carry lighter survival, and I don't know if this is gonna show what I'm thinking of, but it was like this dude, he had a lighter and it was taped. And then when you undid the tape, there was like a needle and a match and like all sorts of this survival stuff. And I'm like, I wonder what else is in that kit. Yeah, right there. Yeah, something similar to this, but it was a long form video. So when I see that, I'm like, wow, I know exactly what I'm getting there. That dude has a slew of things that I need to learn. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. If you have something similar to this, like a first aid kit, that's what I would show. I think that would be brilliant. Sometimes you got to make your things, okay? Okay, let's jump to the next one. That was non-gaming, right? Do 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 boo 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 billy. Okay. I think it's pretty easy to understand. Okay, here we go, guys. This is gaming, all right? All right. Let me know what you think it is. And to answer the previous question, the least amount of words on a thumbnail, that's not what you got to think. It's all about conveying the idea. You can have 10 words on a thumbnail, 20 even. I wouldn't go 20, but I've seen like 15 words on a thumbnail that works. That's pretty extreme. But in the description, there's a link, the top 15 questions most asked about thumbnails. There's a part in there about the amount of words that I did. So watch that. Minecraft, Hunger Games and Minecraft, snail games, lots of snail stuff, Minecraft, Hunger Games and Minecraft. Yep. Okay. Yeah, I'm seeing the Hunger Games and Minecraft. That's what this is. Minecraft, Hunger Games. The thing that really, it's the Hunger Games part almost blends in with the bottom, and I kind of wish it was easier to see that part. I don't know how you could do it. If you wanted to put it at the top right or at the top left, and then the season thing, I don't know if this is important or not, but it's just something to consider. It's not so bad. Everybody said Hunger Games because they saw the words Hunger Games. It's just like the last thing I saw on the thumbnail, so I just wanted to point that out. Yeah, even when you zoom further away, like, it's easier to see. Yeah, never mind. Ignore what I was saying. It doesn't really blend in. It looks good. I don't really know what's going on as far as the stakes of the situation. I don't know the characters at all, but yeah, if the season thing, episode thing, if that's super important that they go in order and you're building a series, then put it in the title. SO1E05 would work just fine. You don't need that in the thumbnail. If I were to do a totally different thumbnail, I would make it to where a couple characters are fighting one character. Like, what makes the Hunger Games so crazy? It's the death. Like, it's nuts. It would also be cool if in a future episode you've got like one Minecraft player that is totally blended in with the surroundings, almost camouflage, like PETA. Yeah, that would be really cool. Yep, you've got all the people tagged in there. So if you could, just find a spot where, like, find an action situation. And then I would A/B test that with actual gameplay, just to see if like a more like gameplay thumbnail worked out. I'm gonna take a look at your others real quick. Hunger Games, but everything is against me. Okay, see, this is a situation I like. There's a lot of guys. It looks like they're pointing arrows at you, so that's pretty cool. It's almost like the season episode thing and the title are getting in the way of this, of like what you're trying to show. Could benefit to go a little smaller there, but let's see which ones really work for you. Okay, the newest, no, not the newest, but one of these. Yeah, I don't know, it seems like it's picking up for you. Each one you're getting more and more views, so I would just keep it up. And yeah, if you can make it super obvious of a situation happening that makes me want to watch and figure out what happened, then I would focus on that. Because the one that you showed is more like a movie poster, whereas I want to see an action shot. Cool. All right, let's go back to non-gaming. Do-do-ba-do-do-do-do-do. Number 104. Oh, that's weird. Sorry, dude. You didn't give us a... You got to give us a video link, okay? Everybody. You can't give us a channel. I don't even want to say his name because I don't want him to be bummed out. All right. All right. Here we go. This is non-gaming. Okay. Slap card. Oh, man. All right. Toolkit, my shop, my workshop. Welcome to my shop. Wood shop. Welcome to the candy shop. A walkthrough of their shop. Shop tour, yeah. I'm getting that Sigma Boys. No, snail shop. Tool review. Yeah. I think it's a tour. Custom car plates channel. All right, let's see why they said that. Because I saw the Kobe Bryant thing, and it's like, first of all, that was the second thing that caught my eye. The first thing that caught my eye was the word shop. It is the highest contrast thing on, like, black and yellow do contrast higher than black and tan. But this yellow isn't like bright yellow, so it doesn't contrast higher than this. This black, and that's also not pure black, but this black and this tan, it catches my eye first. It's the highest contrast. So I see shop, and then I see Kobe Bryant thing, and I'm like, okay, what is this, like basketball? What is this? Then I see my, but the my is blended in with the background because there's not a high contrast of white on like bright gray or bright blue. So this is a problem. Couple things that I would change. Let's get rid of the. I probably would change the entire thumbnail. Honestly, let's take a look at the dude. This is a way better thumbnail, except for like it looks like I don't understand what's happening. Oh, it's just like a really low quality thumbnail. I was like thinking that you took the image, but then you photoshopped yourself into it or something. I don't know, but showing something real, I think, would benefit you more in this situation. And I've seen shop tours. We had, I can't remember the name, but I love when he comes because his channel's awesome. But let's take a look at woodworking shop tour real quick, just so you can see. I think it's important to show the actual shop, and if you want to be in it, that's totally fine. Like that right there, that's cool. I remember that's the one I looked at when we had that one guy come through. There's the complete shop. There's more shops. Shop. That one I hate. That one's really cool. I love that one. Anyway, the top one, they have a wide angle lens, it looks like, which is fine. That's probably what I would try to do at first. Yeah, I would use a wide angle just to kind of show everything. But, it looks like you have the ability to do this. So, yeah, that looks more professional, right? Like even the lighting. I don't know if you photoshopped yourself in there or not, but if you did, like, kudos, because you made the lighting work correctly on your shoulder. That's very cool. You're just like super sharp, so it could very well be photoshopped too. I don't know. But you're not showing a whole lot of workshop stuff in the background. And then there's the Kobe Bryant thing, which competes with everything. So I would try, like, normally I would pull this image into my Photoshop and show you like what to get rid of and maybe add text, but you don't have the picture yet. Looking through, oh, okay, it's not Photoshopped. It was just such a short picture, it did look Photoshopped. Okay. I think I have the same... No, I don't have the same one, but I have a very similar one. This this back here has a sheet on it, but it's the same same tool thing. Sorry, I'm trying to get a better shot here just to see if you have one. It looks like you kind of went around with your phone and it only had it on the one lens. Okay, yeah. So you didn't get a wide shot, but if you could, I think that would really be beneficial. And when you're doing it, just keep in mind that, like, anything that's not really wood shoppy, you could always take out in post. Like, for instance, if I was going to remove this in post, I would just paste it in or drag it, import it in Photoshop or whatever, and I would select it, and then I would gin fill it out, which is what I've been doing with everything else. So you could get rid of it, but it would probably save you time, and if you don't know how to use Photoshop, then just take it down before you take the picture, and you won't have any competing things. And what I like to do, what I really like to pay attention to, is when I take a picture, I try to think of where I want text. If I'm gonna have text in it, you don't necessarily need text, but the perfect place for text on this image is obviously up here. Look at all this negative space. So I recently did an image where, hold on, I think I can just show you what it is. Try not to. I recently did an image where I planned out the negative space because I knew exactly where I wanted my text. So I'll show you what that looked like. It was this whiteboard. I knew that I wanted the whiteboard in there, and it created a bunch of negative space, and the whiteboard ended like right around here. And so I just selected the bottom and filled it in a bit more. And then I changed my shirt to red, and I don't wear anything but black, so that was interesting. And then I brightened the gold play button in the background. But yeah, the point is I purposely made this negative space because I knew that I wanted to put text there. So yeah, that's something to consider if you want to, but definitely when you take a picture of your stuff, take down anything, remove anything that might look competing. And yeah, I think that would be the best thing to do. You don't really even have to do a whole lot of work to it. You could brighten it up. You could saturate it a little bit to make the colors pop like this one does. And you can do all that right on your phone. You can even remove stuff on your phone too. Mine can. Like, you can just select an object and remove it. So, yeah. Okay, we're moving back to gaming. Come on now. Boo-doo-doo. Okay. This one's new. Okay, this might be a little difficult, and we might have to look on YouTube. But we didn't have Five Nights at Freddy's. No, we haven't. Okay, you guys ready? Here we go. It was 2 seconds. Maybe it was 3 seconds. Yeah, nailed it. The Long Dark. The Long Dark. A couple people already had it. All right, so surviving outside in winter. Sad snow clown. Oh, I see what they're saying because the blush. Horror fish game. Okay. Text hidden equals no good. I happen to agree on this one, but we'll get there. Okay. So I don't know the game personally, but some of you do. And I don't know if that's a good thing yet. It's the Long Dark. That's what the game is. I tried to survive a month in the Long Dark. Here's what happened. Okay. The only way that I know if this would work is by searching the long woodworking. Oh man. Okay. The Long Dark woodworking tools. What? Oh, I guess there's woodworking in the Long Dark. There's a lot of stuff going on. The Long Dark 100 days. I spent 100 days. Is this the same channel? That's odd. It's like the same situation. It's like the same thumbnail. Okay, anyway, I spent 100 days in the Long Dark, and here's what happened. So they took that format and they made it their own. They tried to do a month instead. Okay, this happens all the time. It's not really stealing. It's just if you use like such a similar title format in the exact game that they use and stuff like that, you really gotta make sure you should separate your thumbnail from theirs too. Your packaging is so close to theirs. I would try to change something. You change the background. It almost looks like you cut them out of theirs and put it on yours. I'm just saying. So just consider that. And I only say that this is something you need to consider because they have 350,000 views on that one. And so if this pops off or whatever, people are going to start noticing that. So I would probably change the angle of the guy or something like that. That's not something that we talk about on this stream a whole lot, because it's not something that you come across a whole lot. But another thing to consider is the Long Dark. Is that guy like the picture of the game, like the front of the game? It seems like it's a pretty popular picture. Okay, so yeah, it seems like a popular picture. It's not something that yeah. Okay, never mind. You don't have to worry about what I was saying. The title is like so close to theirs, and that's okay. You see that a lot. That's YouTube. Okay, so yeah, all right. 1 month, it is cut off in the background. It's like uncomfortably cut off. I like that you use the negative space. If I were you, I probably would have like drawn over the trees a little bit with like the color of the sky, and then selected the top of the trees and generated AI or whatever, and then it would have capped off the trees a little bit lower, so you had more negative space. It's just that TH being cut off kind of makes it odd to me. But other than that, I think the composition is great. The question that I had is, does the Long Dark need the name in the thumbnail? Because I don't know if it's immediately, like, if people understand it immediately or not. And the best way to know this, every game is different. Some games, it makes sense to put the logo in the thumbnail. Some games, it's obvious what game it is. Like Minecraft is so popular, you don't need to put Minecraft in the thumbnail if it's Minecraft gameplay in the thumbnail. Everybody recognizes it. So the less popular a game, it's kind of a toss-up. So the easiest way to know is just to go and see what's working on YouTube. And if you see the Long Dark, 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 you might want to put the long dark in your thumbnail. Okay, something to consider. Outside of that, I think the thumbnail is really cool. And if you wanted to change something, you could like try to move him to the right and put some text on the left, or put the long dark on the left, or mix up the long dark in 1 month or something like that. And that could differentiate you from everything else. Either way, it's a very cool thumbnail. I think that one pops off because it's super saturated. That red in his jacket kind of like catches my eye on such a white plain background that might be something to consider. Your background is really, really busy. So maybe there's a different background you could find in the long dark that could be a great background for a thumbnail. I don't even know if they made that. It looks like they just took an image. I don't know. I'm not going to claim that because I don't know, but it looks like it's from the wiki. All right, let's go to non-gaming. I don't know how this stuff works. All right, non-game. Let's go. What is going on here? Yeah, come on. Okay. Okay. All right. I'm gonna play the beginning of this video for you guys as soon as we get this. All right, you ready? Here we go. The lawn dart, the lawn dart. Long dart. Fixing the floors on a Volkswagen Beetle. Midlife crisis vacation. Midlife crisis caused by Roblox. Some mobile game. When I first saw it, I thought the same thing a little bit. I kind of understand what you were talking about. Font my eyes. Okay. GTA 6 in real life. GTA 6. Wow. I'm seeing more GTA 6 stuff. Couldn't read it. I don't know. Lawn darts. My favorite game is. I think somebody's behind. Okay, so I think this is a poster, and it's weird because on YouTube we're so used to seeing text that you mean for us to see and read that I'm harsh on it because I want people, like, you want people to immediately read it and understand what's going on in the thumbnail. I don't from this. I see greetings from Eureka Springs, but it takes a while to understand what's going on there. It being such a big part of your image makes it the most important thing in the image. It makes me think I have to be able to read that. I have to invest time into this, and when I think I have to invest time into a thumbnail, I move on to the next video. It's Eureka Springs. So I don't know if this is coming across as anything right now to me. I don't know what Eureka Springs is, but it does look like you're having a midlife crisis, I guess. That screams about me, not for you. That screams about me, not for you. I don't know what that means, but okay. I'm on a midlife crisis adventure in Eureka Springs, and it's hard. Okay. Okay. I think for those that don't know what Eureka Springs is, it might be easier for us to understand the context a little more. And whoever said it screams about me, not for you, I understand that. Like, I understand that you're making a video for you and your personal audience. And if that's the case, that's fine. But I don't know why you're submitting a thumbnail to be reviewed if that's the case. If you're trying to grow, then I understand why you submitted it. But yeah. Midlife would remove Eureka Springs and leave midlife crisis. And I understand that. That makes sense to me. Him with midlife crisis. I I kind of like the midlife crisis, the look of it with the red and white. It pops to me. If you remove that, here, let's do it real quick. Let's see what that looks like. So if we got, I don't have to do this, but if the midlife crisis was down here and we've got red, so you've got red and then gray behind it, right? Then I think that didn't work at all. Then I think the purple would be odd. Like, you wouldn't need that. If the whole background was brick or this concrete, and then you had the white and red, and then I think that would look solid. I think that would be really cool. And then you kind of get more information from the title. This is more of a core audience thing. It's people that care directly about you. So you don't really have to go above and beyond of trying to appeal to a mass audience. This is a real intimate personal thing. So yeah, if Eureka Springs is such a popular place, then being at a landmark of it would make sense to show on the thumbnail, but I don't know what it is. So midlife crisis, this gives me midlife crisis vibes, by the way. Like a man in his car, that just, like, this image appeals to me as somebody who is old. Like, as a dude who's 35, this vibe connects with me. So yeah. All right, let's do one more gaming and then we'll call it quits. Oh, actually, maybe not. Maybe we'll do 10 more. You never know. Better stick around and find out. As soon as I say it, the view count. Okay, you guys ready? Here we go. Let that be a lesson to you guys. Never tell somebody the video is about to end, because people leave. Fortune. Squid, yeah, Fortune, you nailed it. Yeah, it's Fortnite. Can't move, red light, green light. Squid Game, Fortnite, red light, green light. Okay. That's a little bit behind. Snail Game is Fortnite. Yeah, it's a Fortnite, red light, green light. Fortnite. The most chaotic challenge in Fortnite, red light, green light. I guess I like saying that. I think the image is pretty solid. I think I don't know. Hold on. There's got to be other people got to be doing this, right? Red light, green light, Fortnite. Red light, green light, Fortnite. The stop and go, I guess, immediately I understand that. So that makes sense. Stop and go, there's another one. I think that might be the exact same person, though. Yeah, it's the same person. Okay, that's their vibe. If there's a way that you can, like, you say red light and green light on your thumbnail, it says it on your thumbnail, red light, green light. I would do an image instead, right? Like, just use the 3 lights. Like, for just the traffic light would make sense to me. Red light, green light. Yeah, and I think can't move is, you don't need that. And if you remove can't move, you could keep red light and green light and that would be fine. You might want to change the color or whatever, but I think the girl's head, you know, the girl from Squid Games where she, like, the doll that turns around, if you put her in that sky, I think that would be really interesting. So it's just something to consider. All that said, the bottom here, you got room for text. You could probably make these a little bit bigger, but yeah, I think that's probably I get it. I wouldn't put Squid Game in there, but yeah, I don't know. I think it's a really good picture, and so there's just a couple ideas to try out. So all that said, that is the end of this stream. Goodbye. See you next Wednesday.